Back in October 2023, Intel released their 14th generation Raptor Lake S processors. Now, in January 2024, with CES, we saw the release of a lot more variants of those processors. So what I'm talking about today is the nomenclature of the core count in the advertising of these processors. Let's take the flagship Core i9 14900K. It's advertised as a 24-core processor, which it is, but there's a little more detail than that. There's performance and efficiency cores within that processor to get that 24 count. So we have in the 14900K processor, we have 8 performance cores and 16 efficiency cores. Now if we go and look down to the lower end, the way bottom, we have the Core i3, much cheaper, lower count cores. We have 4 performance cores and 0 efficiency cores. And in retrospect, let's go over to the Apple side of things and see how they're advertising. So if we take the flagship M3 Max chip, it has a total of 16 cores, and 12 of those are performance and 4 are efficiency. So actually more performance cores than the desktop Core i9 from Intel. Now, of course, this is just one specification of many, giving you a more detailed look into why you should be buying a certain processor over another. But as you can tell, it's much more than simply looking at core count, though it gives you a very reasonable idea. I mean, if you look at the high core count of the i9s and the price, and the benchmarks for that matter, yes, the Core i9s are going to give you a much higher rank than the Core i3. But other reasons behind buying a CPU would be looking at, for example, total bandwidth. With the 14th gen, we have about a 90 gigabyte per second bandwidth versus the Apple M series that has 400 gigabytes per second. And when the M3 Ultra comes out, it's going to have 800 gigabytes per second. And that has all to do with how their new architecture and the unified memory, where the RAM and the VRAM are now one set separate. And since you need to keep up with the extremely fast VRAM that is notoriously faster than normal RAM, they had to make that entire pipeline extremely fast.